We're about to take a look at my favorite new bag from Veto Pro Pac, you guys. This is the DP3, and this is part of their spring promo, you guys. If it's still going on, go check out the spring promo. I'll leave a link at the end to a video I did with all of the information on it. This is the tier 1 bag for this year, and you guys, this thing is so amazing. I love Veto bags. I've loved Veto bags for a long time. It's exclusively what I use. This thing is just crazy new. It's crazy innovative. You're gonna wanna check it out if you haven't already. We're gonna go ahead and head through my load up. I'll show you guys how I'm using it, let you know my thoughts, because this thing is so cool. This thing here is full of Klein stuff. I just did a little haul from Lowe's, you guys, so I'm putting some stuff to use. Wanting to see what all this stuff is about, right? And so far, I am absolutely loving it. More importantly, I'm loving this DP3. That is the one thing that I am certain on. The thing that makes this different is it's basically a pouch for enough tools inside of the bag, but it also has a drill or an impact pouch. This is huge for me. I carry an impact everywhere I go. I want to have something that can carry both. This means that I don't have to just find somewhere else for my impact to sit separate. This is typically what my setup looks like anyway. It just doesn't have the impact with the actual tools themselves. We'll start on this side. Obviously, it comes with a tape loop. There are D-rings on each side of the bag, as well as up top, holding up this handle. As far as carrying methods go, it has obviously the handle. This top portion up here, the leather part, is actually a pass-through, so you can run a belt through that if you want to. And then you guys can see it here on the back. There is this tape clip, and it's movable. So if you want it higher or if you want it lower, you can have it wherever you need it. And I love that because obviously this pouch can get heavy with there being an impact and some bits and a ton of tools, all that fun stuff. Now, the way I run this is I keep my wire strippers up front, and obviously this can change depending on what I'm doing. If I'm using my Linemans constantly, I can switch them around. But on this left side here, I do keep my wire strippers in this very side pouch because they're what I am using the most frequently right now. Now, these wire strippers are super fantastic. These are one of the newer sets from Klein. They're insulated. They're 1,000 volt rated, which is sweet. I love to have insulated tools. I know it's not a requirement here in America, and a lot of people don't, and a lot of people truthfully hate on insulated tools. It's just an extra step. I find them to be way more ergonomic. That's honestly why I prefer them. But it's nice to finally have a regular pair of strippers that are VDE. I don't feel like we've had that for a long time, ever. So it's really cool. I like the grips. They are a little bit stiffer than I want. Maybe a little bit harder. Like I would like some more texture on this orange. It's more of like a mod box plastic, or like what you would see on a pack out. That goes for all the handles for the Klein pliers. Aside from that, you guys, they really are. They're fantastic. They seem to be really well put together. This is my favorite pair of Kleins that I've ever owned. Maybe not this set of strippers specifically, but this set of pliers, because of the insulation, and they're also not as stiff as I think most Kleins come. Obviously, the wire strippers are always loose because they're spring loaded, but these do have a curve to them. So you can see there is a curve down on this direction here. So they fit in your hand well. They're ergonomic. So far, so good for Klein. Then their diagonal cutters. This is what I was talking about. I don't feel like they are as stiff as they have been in the past. I feel like typically when I get Kleins, they are just like not loose at all. And for these, they get tight a little bit towards the end, but it's nothing that you can't fix with one hand. I haven't soaked these in Ballistol or WD-40 or anything yet. So that's also the case that I have to do the work for them still too. But I like when pliers come loose, and these aren't bad. The Linemans are significantly better than the previous pairs that I have owned. Now, I do want to let you guys know that this video is brought to you today by DIY Watch Club. You guys, they send these fantastic kits that come with all the pieces. I tried to record it, and I actually got so invested, I realized that I had been recording for like an hour and I had recorded nothing. It was a cool little project though. I had a great time doing it, you guys. I'll leave a link in the description to DIY Watch Club. Go check them out. This is the Batman Seiko movement. I'll leave a link to this one specifically if it's still available. We'll leave this section here with the bit for last because we'll cover how I carry all of the different bits with some really, really unique, cool items. So we'll go ahead and go into this middle portion now. And the cool thing about this is you can see from the top here, there's just so many different pockets. There's so much organization. And truthfully, I could carry a lot more in this, and I choose not to. I don't want to have it overloaded. I want to be able to move and be mobile, and that can be difficult if you put too much weight in this, and that's definitely possible with all the storage here. So when we look at up front, closer to my hand, because obviously this sits on my right side because I'm right-handed. So 2 screwdrivers, we have a flathead and a Phillips. The flathead looks fantastic. It works really well. It's machined really well. I think typically people miss the mark on this one. They've really done a fantastic job with this flathead. It's machined incredibly well. It fits screws very, very well. Love to see that. There's just, I mean, they're nothing special. They're just screwdrivers, but they are insulated, which is something that I appreciate. Typically, I prefer handles that are more ergonomic than this, but you can't knock it till you try it, truthfully. So we're putting these out in the field. We're testing them. We're seeing what it's like to actually use these day in and day out. Same with the pliers. And so far, so good. One of my favorite portions of the bag, we have this tape here, right? It's the Klein. It's the old version, actually. But it clips onto this little tape clip in the front, which is super cool. You can obviously put anything you want on there with a clip. It opens up with the Velcro, and it has bit pockets. And also you can just throw screws and whatever else you want into there. I don't really put anything in there because it's not really that easily accessible with how I carry my tape measure on there. I could move it if I wanted to, but honestly, I never really use this pouch for anything except for like, I'll keep like 3 wire nuts, 3 screws, and like, just like very bare essentials of like things that you're like, I wish I had that. Usually a 3/4 lock ring, because those are the things that you lose. But it is a very cool section of the bag, and it's really just like a thing that you keep like an in case emergency. It won't fall out. It's gonna be there when you need it. Love this portion of the Veto Pro Pac bags. Then on this side here, we have our level. This is the Klein 6-inch level. And this thing is phenomenal. It's been my level for a long time. It does everything you need it to do and more. It's got 30, 45, 90, 0, which is everything you need for conduit. It has a no dog, which we love to see. And then the magnets are so incredibly strong. This is the Phillips, and you got to really, I mean, it's strong. It's everything you need it to be. The magnets, you couldn't ask for anything stronger for sure. It's the 6-inch level. I definitely prefer the 6-inch levels over any of the other 8 or 9, whatever, however far. I definitely prefer 6 over anything larger or anything smaller than that. It's just what works best for me. I feel accurate, I feel good, feel confident in my measurements and in my levelness when I use this baby here. We'll keep rolling. We have one more thing in the middle there, but we'll keep rolling because I want to save that again for the end so I can show you guys how I'm getting away with not carrying a million bits. But over on this side, we have a knife. This one here is from O Knife. It's the Ruboto. It's smooth. It looks good. It's green, which matches the bag. I just like the knife. It works well. I definitely prefer to have just a solid blade. You know, I'll carry a utility knife too. It just depends. But right now, all I'm rocking with is this Ruboto from O Knife. O Knife also tends to be very affordable. And I really actually like the feel of their knives. I can't remember exactly what the price is on this one, but it is super fair. The functionality's great. The blade's great. It feels good. It looks good. Can't complain at all about any of my stuff that I have from O Knife. And then I also keep this little flashlight here from Olight, same company, and it's green, matches, which is so cool. But it takes a little AAA battery, and if you twist it, it just turns on. I prefer this because it's nice and small, and it's got a little keychain on it. You could take it anywhere. If you lose it, it's like $15 instead of like $50 for a nice flashlight, but it's super bright. I always keep AAA batteries in my bag for my meter or for whatever else I need, so I never run out of batteries. But that's one of the things. I don't love rechargeable flashlights because if your rechargeable batteries die, you can't just like replace them unless you have extras. It's just easier when you use batteries that you can buy and that are disposable because you can just keep more. That's how I prefer to do it, and that way when your light dies, you don't have to have a $40 battery instead of like however much a AAA battery is. I literally couldn't even tell you because they're inexpensive and easy, and they're everywhere, and I just fly through them. But this is the 3E EOS. Either way, they've got a bunch of these. I actually have a rechargeable one too, but it's on my keychain, and my keychain is not down here. So I actually keep one of these with me all the time as well. on my keychain. Sweet little light, super versatile. Our final tool before we get to the actual bits are these Linemans on this side. I prefer to keep the handle in on these. It just makes it easier. You guys can do whatever you want, obviously, but the head fits in there nicely as well. I just prefer to have the handle sticking out. It seems to get in the way less of the actual impact. That's just a preference. I do the same thing in the tool bags. But like I was saying earlier, these Linemans are not nearly as stiff as the other ones come out. The other ones like that I've had from Klein are so stiff. These, not the same. I love these so far. Again, the orange looks cool too. They look super, super great. They have this design on the head with the American flag, which is sweet. I love that they took the time and did that. It makes it just phenomenal. Obviously, Klein makes a great pair of Linemans. Definitely one of my favorites, if not the favorite set of Linemans ever. Definitely a little bit of competition, but these things are sweet, you guys, and I definitely prefer them in the VDE handle. I don't know if it's just with this version or whatever it is, but they do not come nearly, like you don't have to break them in nearly as much as I've had to break in the other pairs. I've done nothing to these. And while they won't just like flop open, there's zero pressure that I have to put on them to open them all the way or to close them all the way, which in times past has not been the case with Klein. Speaking of Klein and some of their newer stuff that's fantastic, this little bit right here is one of the ways that we save so much space in this bag. This is a 6-in-1 nut driver, technically a 7-in-1, but it goes from 1/4 inch all the way to 9/16, which includes 7/16, which is important because if you work with 1/4 inch hardware, you use 7/16 nuts and hardware, or when you use 3/8 threads, then you end up with 9/16 hardware. So those are the two big ones. Obviously 5/16, 1/4 inch, definitely incredibly important, especially for screws, self-drilling screws. But we've got all of these in one bit, and it holds a bit at the end. That is just, it's going to end up going away, and you guys will see why here in a second, but it is possible for you to hold a bit in the end of this 1/4 inch one. There is no place for you to store it, though, when you go to use something other than your 1/4 inch bit. Not a big deal. Not what I'm going to use this for at all, but that could come in useful if you are somebody who could use that. So all of these bits just slide off the back here, except for the front one. The front one's got to pop off the front, and then from there, it just empties out, and then you can throw in your 3/8 on the front there, right? If that's the bit you're using, and these just store on the back side, which is super, super useful. And now you've got a 3/8 bit instead, and all these other bits are still holding on. That just makes it easy. The other thing that I really like about it is how the bits are set up, especially you HVAC guys love these, but it's a 5/16 and a 1/4 inch bit together. You guys use 5/16 and 1/4 inch a lot. Obviously, everybody else does as well for self-drilling screws, or self-tappers, tap-cons, all of that type of stuff. There are a lot of 1/4 inch 5/16 hardware out there. I like that those two are on the front together. And that way, when you need to change, you can just flip the socket itself and not have to flip the whole deal. That is something that is super, super fantastic about this. It also comes with a magnet on the end. So all of these are going to be magnetized, and it's super, super strong. This is definitely a very functional piece from Klein. This thing is very simple, but it's making waves, and for very good reason. This thing is an excellent tool, and this just sits right up here in the front. It's easy, it's fast. Whenever I need it, I can just pull it out. And then in the front here, down in this, I keep a little bit check from Wera. This isn't the big bit check. This one is like way, way less expensive. Comes with a ton of bits, no sockets, because we have all of our sockets in our deal here from Klein. I like the way that this sets up, and it fits really well. It gives me all of the random sizes too, of like random Allen keys and Torx and security Torx, Phillips, all in a little thing that's, you know, the size of my hand. And it just slides down in the front here really nicely. It's one of the smaller bit cases that carries, you know, obviously as many bits as you want. You guys can trade them out, obviously, if you want to keep more Phillips or you want to keep a random, whatever it is in there. And then at the end here, this little portion pops out, and this is your bit holder from Wera. And these things hold bits really well. They lock in so you'll never lose them. That part of it's cool. More than that, I just like the functionality and the fit. I like how small it is, how light it is. It's got everything I need. There's not a bit that I won't have inside of that. And then finally, obviously the impact. This is an M12 impact. This thing is a beauty. It's a fuel. I don't believe in anything but fuel for Milwaukee. It's the professional line. It's what you should get if you're a professional. This is actually one model old, but it's still kicking. This thing's absolutely an animal. It's got the 3 speeds on the top. There's not much that I can't do with this thing here. It's definitely my go-to impact. It's the impact I keep with me everywhere, no matter what. And now we can see what's inside of there, and it just goes all the way to the bottom. You can carry a 12 or an 18 volt drill or impact in this. Both will fit. Now, you also can secure your bag with this little thing up top. I never do, and I never will, but this pops out. I just keep it up here. You can store bits and stuff up here. That's not my cup of tea. Still a great option for anybody who wants to use that, but I just keep this little thing tucked in here. If you want to, like I said, I've never pulled this out even after I saw it the first time. So now that we've gotten this secure, it's impossible to do when I can't even see it. It's not something that's super quick, not something that's super easy, but if you're like traveling or something and you don't want it to pop out, you can just lock this in. Not something I am doing or have done since I started using this. It's just something that's there in case you like that, in case you want it. If you go home at night and you want to lock up your drill, you want it to be safe and secure, and you don't want it to fall out and get damaged, then you guys feel free to lock it in, put a seatbelt on, if you will. This is just a way for me to carry everything that I need in a very small, light setup. It's a get and go. I mean, I have legitimately everything I could need to do pretty much whatever as far as wire goes. Quick and easy with my impact because I use it on everything like I probably shouldn't sometimes. So if you guys haven't actually checked out the spring promo from Veto Pro Pac, they do one every year. So if it's not time yet, it will be one day. But I can promise you that Veto is worth every single penny, and doing stuff like this is just, it's cool. It's a way that they give back. Go check out the spring promo if it's still going on when you see this video. If it's not, you guys, check out the DP3. This thing is so sweet. I don't know how Veto keeps coming up with new bags, but they do, and they're innovative and they're useful every single time. It blows my mind. If you want to know more about the spring promo, you guys head up to this video here. But remember, you guys, it's all for his glory, and I'll see you on the next one.